Hey, everyone. This is 100 Days of Purpose, and I'm your girl, Linda. Linda, Coach Linda here, and I am here to talk about how you can become a person of purpose. And we've been going over a couple of questions, a few questions that I get all the time, and I'm trying to answer them um, very strategically and intentionally because I want you guys to understand that being a person of purpose does require you to put some effort in, but that effort is rewarded. And so hopefully you will gain some knowledge and it will spur you into getting your rear ends in gear so that you can live the best possible life that you were created and designed to live. And so we just kind of going over the questions that we've already done, which was the first one was, how do I know when I found my purpose? Okay, we went over that one. We also went over, how do I know if I'll like my purpose? So once I find it, will I like it? And then we talked about, how do I choose between two paths? Okay. And then we talked about, what if my life purpose changes? And so those are the questions that I've answered so far. And yes, I'm doing notes because I want to stay, like I said, I want to be intentional and strategic in my answers to you. And there's so much, I have so much knowledge and so much that I want to give, that I want to make sure that I'm giving it to you in bite-sized pieces, understandable, and something that you can apply to your life right now. Now, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, you want to get more information, you can go to destinedtobeyou.com. You can set up a free consultation and I can walk you through all of that. Okay. I don't have a problem because I got news, I got information, I got the stuff, I got the path, the techniques, the strategies, all of that. So if you need it, I got it for you. But today we're going to talk about, how can I make time for my life purpose? That means you're so busy doing life, right? You're so busy living your life. How do you now stop and be doing what you're supposed to do? Think about it. How do you stop doing what you're doing so you can do what you're supposed to do? Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying that everyone is not living a life of purpose. What I'm saying is that when you come to me, you get clarity in that and you find out that maybe you're living a life of purpose, but you were unclear. So you were doing a whole bunch of stuff and you're tiring yourself out and burning yourself out when you really don't have to. Or maybe you thought you were living a life of purpose, but you really aren't. It isn't what you were meant to do. And so you're burning out because it's not what you were meant to do. Remember, purpose is something that you love to do. It's something that is on the inside of you. And when you do it without thought. You do it without, well, how am I going to get this done? If you're always trying to figure it out, that's probably not purpose. Okay. So how can I make time for my life purpose? And this is what I can say. Like any other goal, you have to be disciplined. You have to set the goal. You got to do SMART goals. You got to make it specific. You got to make it measurable. You got to make it attainable. You got to make it relevant to who you are and what you're trying to accomplish. And then it has to be time bound. So you got to do SMART goals. But just like when you say, I want to lose 10 pounds, if you never go to the gym, if you don't go on a diet, if you don't change your eating habits, if you don't change your lifestyle, even if you get the weight loss surgery, you still got work to do. Okay? You still got work to do. There is no magic pill that you can take. There is no magic pill that you can take, and all of a sudden you're living a life of purpose. You've got to be disciplined. You got to have the want to, okay? It is important to prioritize your time to make room for what's most important. And when you start to understand living a life of purpose, you start to see that there are some things that we fill our time up with and we think they're important, but they're not really that important. And so it's knowing how to decipher through that, how to sift through that and know what's most important. And you find out the things that are most important aren't things at all. I've said that before, but I'm going to say it again here. Sometimes the things that are most important aren't things at all. Okay. Um, you need to start to consider what you're currently spending your time on. What are you doing? What's taking up your time now? What's burning up your fuel? What's burning up your energy? What has you tired all the time? Because what I found is that when I'm doing purpose, now there are days when I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling it. Woo, woo, woo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I find those days I'm mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, every lead you can think of, I am just tired, right? And I'm like, man, what did I do today? The time just got away from me. But when I am strategic and I am intentional about what it is that I'm going to do, and I stay on point and I stay on purpose, it energizes me. At the end of the day, I'm like, what else can I do? Where else can I go? Who else can I help? I'm ready to go, right? And then it's hard for me to settle down and go to sleep. And because my mind is just thinking about all these things that I can do, I'm just energized. And so that's what purpose does. Purpose doesn't wear you out, it enables you. Okay. So, what are you currently spending your time on? Does your purpose align with anything you're already doing? Most likely it does, but you don't know that because you haven't discovered what it is. Do you have space to easily add in a daily action or habit? Most times we do. If we give up the binge watching Netflix and we give up the gossiping on the telephone and we give up the Facebook, you know what I'm saying? If we do that, some days I have to just pull away from Facebook. I give Facebook 15 minutes and then I'm gone. And I have to remember, wait, Linda, you're trying to run a business on Facebook. So you got to go back and you got to interact with people and you got to post this and you got to tell them what about this and you got to do this. And so I have to force myself to come back. But again, I come back, I do the work that's going to make me money. I don't do the personal kind of talking to people. Okay. And then I set up days where I'm just talking personally to the people on my timeline that aren't going to pay me money, that aren't my clients. And you know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to understand where your time is going and how you can maneuver your time to make time for what's most important. Okay. And when you start to do that, when you start looking at your calendar, when you start looking at your bank account, okay, yes, your bank account, because where you spend your money is where you spend your time. Okay. If you spending $3,000 a month on food, going out to eat with your friends and this, that, and the other, going to have DoorDash bring you some food and you spending all this money on food, then that's where you spending your time, eating food, chilling with your friends. Okay. I'm just saying. So you can look at your bank account or your checkbook or however you manage your money. You can look at where your money is going because where your treasures is, there your heart is, right? Where your money goes, that's where you go. Okay. And this will help you start to get closer to purpose and sifting through what needs to be removed from your life and what needs to be added to your life. If you're like most busy professionals, finding the time to add in one more daily task can seem overwhelming. I get it. People look at me and they're like, you do this, 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 this. There's only 24 hours in a day. How are you doing? When you go to sleep? When you do this? When you eat? I get it done because it's priority, right? I do what's most important. I'm on purpose. I'm strategic and I'm intentional about whatever I do. Do I have days where I just let it all go? Absolutely. But I know how to reel it back in, okay? It's important to take stock not only on how you spend your time, but where you expend your energy. When you are trying to change, make a change in your life. We hate change. I know we don't like change, right? Everything, we have that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But sometimes you got to break it to make it better. I'm just saying. So sometimes change is necessary. All the time, change is necessary. And change happens whether you want it to or not. Transformation and evolution happens whether you want it to or not. And so you got to understand that whether you are stuck, the world is still going. If you say, I'm stuck and I can't get past this and I can't, the world is still moving. Listen, today is today. It's not yesterday. It's not a year from now, right? It's not a year ago. It's right now. And tomorrow is coming. The time is not waiting for you. The earth is rotation around the sun. Time is not standing still for you. It's still for Joshua, but it ain't standing still for you. You may be stuck, but the world is moving. It's going. And so you have got to make the adjustments, and you've got to learn how to get unstuck and keep it moving. Okay. Let's see what else I got on here, because this is some good stuff, right? You got to deal with your willpower. We're all given a certain amount of willpower at the beginning of every single day. In our lives, we have willpower, the power to enforce our will. I'm going to say that again. Willpower is the power to enforce our will. That's why it's important for you to say affirmations. That's why it's important for you to have things that are positive around you and to say things that are positive as opposed to negative. I'm not broke. And I'm not even in between blessings. I used to say that. Now I don't even say that. I'm just moving to the next spot, right? And whatever that transition takes, most times transformation is pruning. So that means you're losing something to gain something. Right. And so I'm okay with that. If I have to lose a little bit of money so I can gain a whole lot of money, then let it go. So you can get, right? That's me saying, come on, get it, get it, get it. That's what I was saying in my head, but I was just doing it. I want you to get it because many of you are holding on tight to that 12 cents when you should be investing that 12 cents. And some of you wait for the people to hit it big. Well, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to wait and see how Linda's life turns out. I'm going to wait and see if this person does this. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. And then it happens. And then you want to get on the train. But my bishop said something a long time ago that I've never forgotten. He said, once the train starts moving, if you try to jump on, you're going to kill yourself. What does that mean? That means if you're trying to get on a moving train, think about it. In real life, if the train is moving and you're trying to jump on it, most likely you're going to be the one getting splattered. You missed it, right? Even if it's the chug of it, you still, once it starts moving, you've missed your opportunity. And many of us miss our opportunities because we're waiting and seeing. We're trying to hold on to what we have because we're uncertain of what's going to happen. And I get it, I understand it, but sometimes you got to let it go. Sometimes you got to say, I'm gonna jump in. I'm all in. It's a gamble. Okay. But you've been given a certain amount of willpower, and that willpower is there for you. It's the power to enforce your will. So you don't have to bow down. You don't have to buck down. You don't have to be in a situation where you're doing something you're not supposed to do or don't want to do. You get to allow your voice to be heard. And when you are a person of purpose, saying no is something that you're allowed to do. It doesn't mean that you don't want to help someone. It doesn't mean that you are not going to make yourself available to people. It just means that if it does not align with purpose for your life, you're okay with saying no. And when it does align, you're okay with saying yes. Okay. Things at work like stress, decision makings, or problem solvings can easily drain your willpower and tank you and get you mentally, emotionally, and physically unable to move forward. And so, what you need to do is learn how to preserve your energy and how to enforce your will. I ain't saying be disrespectful and rude. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is stand your ground. Know who you are, and you can't stand your ground if you don't know who you are, if you don't understand your purpose. Some of you are working in jobs just because you needed a job and that job hired you. But does it deal with your purpose? Is it fueling your fire? You don't want to get in situations where your energy is being drained all the time. You don't want to get in situations where you're dreading going to work, where you're dreading going home, where you're dreading talking to your friends. That's not a life to live. Okay. One thing you can do to overcome this is to consider starting a morning routine where you do something that fills your body with energy. It fills your mind with energy. It puts gas in your tank, if you will. It stirs up that passion. It stirs up that desire. It motivates you to want to keep it moving. Okay, so get something in your routine. That's why people say affirmations and or listen to positive, read positive books and things of that nature. And some people read the Bible and the first thing they do after they get dressed while they're sipping on their coffee, they read the Bible because that gives them energy and it allows them to be able to face whatever may come that day. So you need to build a routine every morning that's going to give you the power to face the day. Okay? But you can't do it if you don't know who you are. You can't do it if you haven't discovered your purpose. You can't do it if you are not disciplined. We're going back to what I said in the beginning. You got to be disciplined. Okay? Because that's how you're going to make time and room and space for your purpose. That's how you're going to understand who you are and why you exist and why now for such a time as this. Who are the people you're supposed to be serving? Where are you supposed to be working? Are you supposed to be working? Are you supposed to start your own business? Are you supposed to uh write a book? You're gonna find these things, you're gonna start to discover these things. And I guarantee you, once you know what that purpose is, you're going to see every opportunity available to you to fulfill that purpose and to keep you energized. And I'm just going to go there because y'all know I'm a pastor. Y'all want to see Jesus' face in peace, don't you? You don't want him looking at you like. So, yeah, Linda, this was the plan I had for you. This is the plan you lived. What's You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, do you know what? That was the plan you had for me, and that's the plan I did. And I got great success because I did it your way, not my way. And I took the bull by the horns. Even when I was afraid, even when I was unsure, I took the bull by the horns and I rode it. I rode it. And I was able to achieve everything that I wanted to achieve. Everything I needed to achieve, everything that I was placed on earth to achieve. The gifts that you gave me, I multiplied. So I can hear them say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into my rest. Mm. Ah, whew, I feel it. I feel it. You see, y'all just don't get it. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all want to dismiss it and go your own way and keep on living your life. I said last year, at the beginning of the pandemic, Isaac sowed into a famine and he reaped 100-fold. And I was telling everyone that I could tell. I was on Facebook almost every single day saying, come on, let's do this. Get your credit right. Get this right. Get this right. And now look at it. The real estate market is wide open and people want to buy and people want to sell. And you can't because your credit bad. You can't because you don't got no money saved. You can't because they laid you off on your job. But had you sold into the famine right now, you would be reaping 100-fold. Someone came to me, and I kid you not, I don't got it like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't got it like that. Someone came to me and they showed me a house that was $1.6 million. And she said, God said it could be yours if you would just have the faith for it. You mean to tell me I could own a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house, 3,000 square feet in this economy with what I got in the bank? She said, absolutely. But you got to trust, you got to believe because purpose finds a way. If it's meant for you, there is a way for it to come to you, but you got to know who you are. Another one of my friends was talking to me, and I was saying, look, I've been looking for in a building and this and that and the other, and I just want to make sure that I'm going down the right road. I got to make sure that God is with me. Can you pray? And she said, she came back and said, Linda, God said, you need to recognize who you are because you have authority and you need to understand why he sent you to that region. And when you understand why he sent you to that region, I'm talking purpose. I'm not going off the deep end here. He said, when you know why he sent you to that region and you know your purpose and you understand your purpose, you can go into that region and say, I have authority here. Purpose finds a way. Think about it. God had a plan before the foundation of the world. And at every opportunity, the enemy tried to stop it, but he can't. He hasn't been able to, and he will never do it. Why? Because it's his purpose, it's his plan, and it will be fulfilled. You have a purpose and you have a plan, and it will be fulfilled if you would get off that stump, if you would stop being a bump on the log and letting life just pass you by and telling yourself that you cannot. Know who you are and walk therein. Be a person of purpose. And this goes for you whether you're a Christian or not. Because God's plan for you, he already knew the life you were going to live. He already knew if you were going to accept him or not. But he still said, I know the plans I have concerning you. Boom. Shakalaka. There it is. I said that thing. Now you can come for me if you want to. Here we go. When you start your day with positive energy, not this, oh, here I go again. Oh, I gotta go to work. Oh, I gotta look for a job. Oh, the kids is on nerves. Oh, COVID. Oh, Corona. Oh, this. Oh, that. When you do all of that, you're draining yourself, right? So you got to start on a positive note. And when you have an understanding of that, it's easier to take that energy with you and allow it to direct you and fuel your day. You make different decisions when you think bright than you do when you think dull. That's why he said you are the light of the world. We're supposed to illuminate the world. Now I'm talking to the Christian. If you're not illuminating the world, you're not living in purpose. If you're just like Sally Joe over there, you're not living purpose. And when you have more energy, you will find, you will feel like you have more time available to you. Remember in the Bible, it says he will redeem the time. He will give back the years. That's how he does it. When you become a person of purpose, you become intentional and strategic on how you will live your life. You start to see the redemption of time. So it don't matter how old you are. It don't matter how young you are. It don't matter if you retired or if you are still working. It doesn't matter if you fail 50 million times. It don't matter. Get back up, dust yourself off, and let's do it. You'll have more time available to explore your life's purpose or add daily actions to help you get closer to living your purpose. That's all I have for you today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how do you know when you've mastered your purpose. I hope and pray that you are taking this to, for those of you that are spiritual and you pray and you meditate and you get in your word and you do all of the study and you get counsel from prophets and bishops and apostles and teachers and evangelists and you do all of that. I pray that you are taking this and you are allowing this to penetrate your heart and mind. Because hear me, God will speak to you because it's his plan. Who better to help you discover his plan than the plan maker? Mm, that's all I'm saying about that. I am Coach Linda. If you need to get in contact with me, go to destinedtobeYou.com. I want you to be successful. So here it is. Only those that can see the impossible can achieve only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. Dare to be you. And remember this, if you don't remember anything else, purpose always finds a way. It always finds a way. You just got to make yourself available to receive the goodness that comes from being a person of purpose. And as I always say at the end of, well, as I started saying at the end of these, I am Coach Linda. You be blessed, be encouraged, and I am out.